Good morning everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So a couple of things, and I've been mentioning that we're looking for a retest of the 155 EMA. We kind of got it, but then rejection, and then we had this exhaustion bar to the downside. So for all intents and purposes, as far as I'm concerned, we are still, we are back in this range that we had. So remember, this was what we were looking at earlier. We're looking for a break, we're looking for support there. We've got a bit of support, but pretty much would have got stopped out taking that trade. So at the moment, it is a retest of the moving averages that we have here. We do have a couple of gaps to the downside, and we do need to pay attention to 14,226 to see what's going to happen. Oscillator's not offering anything for us at the moment. So moving down to the next time frame. But before we get into this, I'm curious to know how many of you guys are actually cyclists as well. I'm a keen mountain biker and spend quite a bit of time on Zwift in the mornings or the evenings. So curious to know how many of you guys do it. Let me know in the comments. Maybe we can hook up for some group rides as well, and talk about charts while we are struggling up and down the hills of Watopia. Moving down to the 3 hour, you can see we're in and amongst the moving averages. Look at my oscillators at the moment. They are grouping to the downside. Pretty strong signal at the moment that you need to be paying attention to this. If you look at the move that we've had this week, we've had move down, consolidation, second move down. So we've had the two moves there. So that move could very well be done. We are back at the bottom, or close to the bottom of the range, and the trick here is there is a bit of a trend line, and it is that right over there. Now, what does that trend line mean? If you've got this top level in, and you've got a trend line, it could be a series of high lows. And the DAX, the last couple of, I suppose the last year really, and this year has been sort of range bound on every time frame. So that could very well be what's transpiring here. Remember, you've got non-farm payrolls coming out today, so that is something you do need to pay attention to. We're more than likely going to range about doing pretty much nothing until that data comes out later this afternoon for us. So so until then, I'm really just sit on hands, not really looking to jump into this today until the data is out, and then we'll have a look at it. If you look at what the oscillators are doing, this is indicating we potentially could get a bit of a swing up and then a move down. So just look at this. Let's look at this on the 15 minute. It's going to be a way better situation. So yesterday you had up in amongst the moving averages. When we did the video, I said to you, in amongst moving averages, expect a sort of a break one way or another. We got the break to the upside, but look at the gap that it made. The minute you get gaps like that on the lower time frames, you bet your bottom dollar it's coming back to close that pretty much in the day normally. And we did get up to an area. You can see there's the previous swing low, previous factual. We got up to there, and then we had the range bar form. Pretty much break of that range bar is your entry, so your entry is there and your stop is above there. So it's a 50-point stop loss basically for a pretty strong move of 350 points. So you've got to be, have your wits about you, because normally the way I would trade that is wait for a pullback onto structure here and looking for another move up, because that's a break. So I would be waiting at the gap here to see if I can get some form of structure. There wasn't any structure, it broke back down. So you can always wait for the second move, and the second move was only this bar here. So you drifted low, came up, tested the moving averages and down. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, look at the oscillator at the moment. We're grouping back up to the moving averages. It does look like we're looking for another leg down, and probably to come and test the bottom of this range. So 14,226 is what you'd be looking for. And I just want to get back to the higher time frames, 14,226, and then you need to look for where the breakout was, and this is the breakout of the inverse head and shoulders. That has not been tested. You can see that's the neckline, there's your shoulder, there's your head, there's a double shoulder there. So that has not been tested in the last 3 weeks. So that is also a very, very solid area to pay attention to at the moment. But what it does do is it just gets us back below all the moving averages, which Wouldn't make sense. What would make sense is when the data comes out for a massive squirt down here, and then the buyers jump in, and then you have this massive move back up, leaving us with a big pin bar on one of the time frames, and then specifically the 3 hour, I suppose, and then you're still above the moving averages. So moving averages are indicating bullish. They are when they stacked blue, green, blue, red, purple, that is bullish. So you've got the 33 above the 66 above the 150 EMAs, and that is a bullish. It means we're moving to the upside. So anyway, range bound, sitting on the sides, but do pay attention to this, because as you can see on the 15-minute, there are 15-minute trades. There's always 15-minute trades available on the DAX. You just got to be waiting at the levels, get your levels drawn in, and you can draw your levels in on the hour pretty much, and then get down to a lower time frame, even a 5-minute time frame, and you can see there. Oh no, we're in the wrong. Can we just get back there? So okay, so there you can see when we did the video yesterday, pretty much all over the place. Then got to the level, rejected it again, the gap is there, and you can see how we came back immediately to close it, but all it was a bounce off here for a long to the level, take profit. You can see the tails, story of 3 oscillators group to the upside, short there, above there, nice tight stop loss, and move down. There's your second entry there, the rejection of a moving average, not quite a rejection of a level, but if I come down to there was the opening low. Okay, and a lot of people play the range of the DAX as well, so the range in the first 7 hours of the day, and you can see there's sort of all over the place, and there's an attempt at rejection of that before moving down. So if the moving averages are pointing to the downside, you're looking to sell. That's as simple as that. So if you've got time on the 5 minutes, that's pretty much the way to trade these things. Anyway, enough from me today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you on Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers for now.